What up, though? And welcome to the Die Hard Den. It's your man, Kurt Steele.
What up? What up? It's Wells.
And let's get to the game. Boy, was that a snoozer. Man, I mean, I know Lions fans, you're going to have some guys that, some fans, I'm sorry, not guys, it's fans that's going to want to tank, that's going to want to lose games. You're going to have some fans who want there's going to be some fans who take wins no matter what. They want the team to win no matter what. Whatever positive things that come out of a game, they're with. That was the 3-and-out bowl. I mean, both teams averaged around 30% third down percentage for the game. Both had right around 250, 270 yards of offense.
Stafford had like 101 yards.
Yeah, like 90. I think with a sack, it made it like 96. So yeah, it was.
It was ugly. I thought I was going to get pink eye. I thought I was going to have pink eye in both.
It was pretty bad, man. I was. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I fell asleep in the fourth quarter. I had to kind of wake myself up and to catch that Zach Zenner touchdown late in the game. But I saw the rest of the scores. But it was pretty bad. I mean, it was a snoozer, man.
I got no problem with it. Was so bad. Last night's Monday night game was horrible too to watch.
Yeah, it was. It was pretty rough to that. The last minutes of the game. Yeah, it was.
But
it was bad. It was bad.
So here's what I'll say. I'm Team Tank for sure. 100%. It's tank season. You follow me on Instagram. You saw it. And by the way, The way that the pace of that game, I had so much to drink by the end of the second quarter, just because it was so slow. I couldn't believe. I was just like, "What's going on?" But
that game was. It was.
But the Cardinals are so bad. I mean, both teams played horribly. You said it was 3-and-out. Both sides didn't. Rosen's a rookie, so I guess that's just the excuse they're going to get. That team is in total disarray. But to the Lions, you can't actively tank. Now, to that point, Stafford, the analysts kept talking about, I don't know if you picked up on this. Wasn't it Brady Quinn? I forgot the other person.
Yeah, Brady Quinn was the color commentator for the game, yeah.
But they were talking about they had meetings with Stafford during the week, and he could like barely sit down. His back was so screwed up.
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah,
why are we trotting this out there? What is going on? And now Deshaun Hanson sprained MCL. He should be shut down for the rest of the year. Slay was questionable throughout the week. Might as well have just given him the week off too. That defense is horrible. But I just want people shut down. I really do. No injuries.
I mean, what we talked about last week, remember you said that in the last podcast. I mean, we wanted to get to the end of the season healthy, and it was a mass unit out there. You had Ragnar going out with a concussion. How many times was Tavon Wilson on the ground? I mean, I think after every special teams play, he was on the ground for like most of the second and third quarter. I mean, like every time I turned around, he was on the ground like they had to blow the whistle to get him off the field. I was like
over the ground. It was like playing Red Dead Redemption, clearing out one of these gang hideouts. Just
it was everywhere. Crazy. I was like, hey, Wagner went. I was like, it's a concussion. He's out, and we didn't want to talk. Ziggy just went. He went. He was out. As soon as he went out the game, he was out. It wasn't. He was questionable to return. He was just out. And then they said he was questionable. Then later on, he was out. But it was just like, it was bad. It was bad. I mean, to me, the only bright spots that, and it really wasn't that bright spots, but because of Rosen's a rookie quarterback, and not saying that all rookie quarterbacks are like that, but just him, his maturation process, it hasn't caught up with him yet. He talks a big game, but he hasn't caught up to the game yet. The NFL game hasn't slowed down for him yet. But like some of the secondary play was okay. I mean, you get Slay with the interception, which
they needed to win the game. I mean, that was like in the grand scheme of things. I'm with you. The defense performed well, and the defense has been playing well the past couple of weeks. It's just by the way, I like every rookie quarterback pretty much in this class.
I mean, that play was easy for Slay. I mean,
Oh yeah, I mean that one was all. If you're an All-Pro or a Pro Bowl quarterback, plus I mean you got Fitzgerald got that record. He'll probably retire. They don't really have that many weapons. David Johnson had that big season, but
Davis was lighting him up all game.
Right. I mean,
Davis was lighting him a new one.
The only person that they really have on this team, though.
Yeah, it is. It is pretty. A lot of those guys, because a lot of the receivers are gone.
Right.
You know, the Brown guys, those guys are gone.
And next week, I like Josh. Yeah, I think he's interesting to watch. It's going to be like cold.
Yeah, Buffalo's favored in that game.
They should be.
Buffalo's favored.
Like a very low key defense too. Like I don't want Stafford out there. I just don't.
Now I will tell you this: the one guy who I like, the play I like, and I like his upside going forward is Tracy Walker.
He played really well. Yeah,
he's got some side. He's got some speed too, because he's a tall guy. He's got some speed. I think he's gonna be. I think he's gonna be able to do something. He played a lot of the snaps yesterday. He kind of split time with Glover Quinn.
Right, and that's because Glover's gonna be gone at the end of this year.
Yeah, because you look at the safety that played the whole game was Diggs. He played 100% of the snaps. He played every snap of the game.
I was sick.
I mean, like
I like the idea. Sorry for interrupting, but
yeah, go ahead, man.
Play these young guys. It's unfortunate that Hand got hurt. You can't foresee an injury, right? He was 100% going into this week. Unlike Stafford, if you can foresee an injury coming up, then I don't even know. Especially when you're out of the playoff race.
Yeah, but
NFC North's kind of wide open. It's like, no, it's not. The Bears have it. No, we're getting a wild card.
Because even at 9-7, they're going to win it.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's just
if they lose out, they'll win it.
Guys, stop fooling yourself. Get a step away from the Kool-Aid for a second. I pushed myself away from the Gatorade cooler as well. Chill out.
You're just going to have those guys. I mean, I got what said at the beginning of the podcast. They want the team. The team's going to win any type of positive thing. Now, I'll tell you, was I jumping up and down because they won? No. Did I enjoy that they won? They won because, big whoop. You know what I'm saying? It's not a big deal for me right now because we still can get in the top 10. We haven't blown it yet.
We were we fifth pick overall, and then we jumped to 10.
Yeah, we're at 10. A top 10 pick, I can,
I'm glad
I still can deal with a top 10 pick. So I know you want Greedy Williams, and what the big boards are saying he's going to be gone by that time. I get you. I understand you, but looking at the game, I like you said, like for this week coming up with the mass unit, what's going on? We're going to be really shorthanded. I think that Buffalo is going to take that game. I'm not wishing the Lions to win. I will never wish the Lions to lose. I mean, I don't wish them to lose, but if for the betterment of the team, if it's going to help the draft position, I mean, I get it. I can, I understand it. I don't want, no, I'm not a big proponent of tanking, but I understand why fans want them to lose. Some fans want them to lose because you want the team to get better, and players, draft picks, young guys, we have some holes to fill on this team. Definitely that.
Kurt, how about I'll do one better even beyond the draft. Is it affects your scheduling next year? Your winning percentage affects your schedule.
You're right.
Like what are you guys doing?
You're gonna play that last place team in the other three divisions.
Just like, guys, what do we know Patricia's not gone after this year.
Yeah.
Signed because like Quinn being established here, which like they're not going to publicly talk about job security, but like I see both of them here for being at least like 2 more years. Like Patricia's going to get 3 years here. He's going to get a full, honest, open opportunity to do what he wants. He's got his GM, and that's the timetable. Those Caldwell, whatever happened with Caldwell and Quinn, that's gone. There's no way that these two aren't going to stay and succeed together or be gone together.
Yeah, it's whatever. They're going to be showing the door together.
Right.
You're right. It's going to be they're going to win. They're going to win together, or they're going to be gone together, one way or the other.
You're not going to lose the locker room doing something. So, like, Jim Bob Cooter's gone. Marvin Jones,
he's gone.
IR. You traded Golden Tate. This offense, I don't want to rush Kerryon Johnson. What do you have? A high ankle sprain last week? That's an injury that can take a couple of weeks.
I mean, that can take the. I mean, I will be a proponent of sitting him for the rest. I mean, I'm with you, bro. You sit on the rest of the season. You let him heal up. Come back next season. Fully ready to go.
This just reminds me so much of the 2010 year when we went 6-10, but going into week 14, we were 2-10. You won 4 meaningless games in a row. 4 meaningless games in a row. And because of that, you ended up getting the 13th pick in the draft. So you just said we were the 5th pick. We dropped to 10, and we still don't know what we're going to end up at the end of the season. But here's the top 5 of that draft. You ready for this?
Okay, let's go.
Cam Newton 1. Von Miller 2, Marcel Darius 3, AJ Green 4, Patrick Peterson 5. Okay, rounding out the next 10. Here's 6 through 10. Julio Jones, Aldon Smith, legal trouble. He was a very effective player. Jake Locker out of the league. Tyron Smith is part of that Cowboys line. Gabbert. J.J. Watt was 11, Ponder was 12, and then we took Nick Fairley, who I don't even think is in the league right now.
Nah, he's not in the league right now. I think his last stop was New Orleans, I believe. It was his last stop.
Issue too. I mean, I'm looking at the guys who passed that too. Robert Quinn's a nice player. Solder, Prince Amukamor. I mean, there's talent you can find like later on in the draft. But my point is, why are you risking that though? Why would you risk that? Yeah, Greedy Williams is going to be a top 5 pick. Bosa is going to be a top 5 pick. Ed Oliver. All positions you would just be drooling to add onto this team. I think we know what Tabor is at this point. We could match up somebody really cool next to Slay. We both like Lawson and the nickel.
Yeah, I like Lawson and nickel.
We have Walker as the safeties.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a nice secondary. And then Jared Davis, I love him tackling, especially on running downs. Like, he was great. He was a missile out there. But I don't know. There's my dude from Michigan, Devin Bush, is just like from sideline to sideline. Maybe you could move Jared to the outside and just have him rush and put some pressure on the quarterback and get after the running back a little bit. Maybe he's a middle linebacker at this level. There's so much talent in this draft.
Because when you switch it, you can switch Davis and when they have the 4-3 package, you can switch him out to a weak side linebacker. He'll be good because he can. The only problem with him, I mean, we've seen all season, or last 2 seasons, is coverage. I mean, definitely have to work on his coverage skills. But I mean, from sideline to sideline, the guy's a beast. I mean, he can run. I mean, the guys can tackle. He can pop you, but I don't know. I don't think they're gonna. I mean, the guy was a first round pick, so I don't think they're gonna divorce him yet. I don't think. I mean, this is just me. I don't see them.
Oh no!
I don't
see
them replacing him at middle. You know,
they're gonna give him. They love his work ethic and stuff. But I'm just saying. I mean, we both are in agreement there. It's so. Now, is there a limit on how many people you can put on the IR? Because isn't Jalen Reeves-Maybin? Did he just get put out on that? I think.
Yeah, he's on IR. Yeah, I mean,
it could very well be trying to like.
I think it's a limit for you can put on that return, the beginning of the year return designation.
That's
IR.
What Jamal Agnew thing probably was.
Yeah,
I think that's exactly what that was.
And did he return to practice? But I know he didn't play. He was out. Right. I don't think he's
by him being back. I think they were able to put another person on the IR
because he hasn't been cleared to play. But I think he's just off of that.
Right.
That status, but he hasn't been cleared to play because he hasn't. I don't even think he may be at practice, but he hasn't been at the game because he was live tweeting and during the game. So I know he wasn't in the stadium. So because they can't have their phones on the sideline. So he didn't even travel with the team. So, I mean, this game was ugly. I mean, I don't even think the spouses didn't even travel because I follow Kelly and I follow Jennifer Williams Slade's wife on Instagram, and they were live posting during the game, so because lots of because I know Slade's wife usually goes to almost every game, no matter what city it's in.
Arizona's not that hype. That's why people I'm in Florida right now, in Orlando, and all my UCF boys are like, I'm not flying out to fucking Phoenix, Arizona. Not that high of a location at all. But, that field was trash too, by the way.
That field was trash.
People getting injured.
Yes, it did. I mean, you can tell that the Arizona guys, they probably were used to that crap. But the Lions, those guys, they were changing cleats left and right.
Mud. They were playing on mud on that one part of the field. Yeah. It's insane.
Well, they grow that grass. They grow that grass outside and bring it into the stadium.
Right. So it was almost like FedEx Field horrible, which is really its own thing. But
it was horrible. But I would say just wrapping out that game, it was a snoozer. It was a injury fest, and to me, I don't think to me it was about which team played better. I think it was about which team played worse.
Yeah.
If you understand what I'm saying? It was about who played worse. And at that game, it was just happened to be the Cardinals played worse. That game. I just think they have, 3 rookie offensive linemen. They got to Rosen 3 times. Davis lived
it's just Peterson on the defensive side of the ball. There was that he kind of asked for a trade earlier in the year, remember? And then he came back.
Yeah.
No, never mind. Because I think there was probably some blowback with his brand or whatever. He can just sign anywhere at the end of this year, I believe. So, I mean, it's just they weren't going to be throwing pick sixes to lose a game, If they lost the game and put forth good effort, that would have been one thing. I would have been pleased with the defense's performance if they lost that game. That's something when people talk about momentum going into next year. Because half of the roster's not going to be here next year. Lang is getting replaced. Maybe Wagner, I don't know. Then you got Quinn will be gone.
Yeah.
Tabor, who knows?
I think he'll be gone.
Ziggy will be gone. Tate's already gone. I mean, it's just I don't know what's going to happen. The tight end position is still kind of all the way up in the air. I thought Roberts would end up taking away or walking away with it as the season progressed. He hasn't really been showing much. It's going to be a lot of turnover, like any NFL team.
I think, to me, they need to replace the receivers coach.
That could be a thing
to me. I mean, you got to look at position coaches now, where I'm looking at.
It's going to get wiped out.
Receivers coach, I think Golden's going to be gone. He moved from tight ends and linebackers. I think he may be gone. Just looking at the structure, I think that with Jim Balcooter, he's going to be gone. But I think that if looking at some of the skill position guys, I think there's going to be some turnover with those guys as well.
Yeah, 100%.
Just because the receivers they don't know how to separate. I know from the line of scrimmage, I know we don't have a lot of burners. I mean, besides Jones, but Galladay, he's got enough size to get separation. Where's his technique where he can get separation off the line? I mean,
so let's do this. We both kind of are in agreement. I think Jim Bob's gone. I don't know why. Patricia comes out after we got rid of the special teams coordinator, who was horrible too during the season. Any more changes? Okay, so we're not making any more in-season changes. Is what that means. Both of us think Jim Bob's gone. What type of offensive coordinators or names would you see, or what type of system do you want them to come from? Because Cliff Kingsbury, that dude who's now at USC, he took that contract. He put it off because he thought he was going to get an NFL job, which I could easily imagine him with Aaron Rodgers. Damn.
Yeah, that'd be a good mix.
Maybe Kansas City, but are we that attractive of an offense?
I mean, with the right coaching and some pieces in there. I mean, because Carrion can fill that Hunt role easily.
It might be New England's like a quarterback coach or something.
Yeah, it may be, because you look at
Packers coach.
You look at McCarthy. I mean, I don't think he'll take a coordinator job anytime soon.
No, I mean, his record is good enough. It's just tough. You have Rodgers. It's like, how much of that record is inflated by Rodgers just being phenomenal? You know.
Yeah. But then like
a lot of questionable coaching decisions.
If you look at that and you look at those guys, I mean, they're getting off the line start, but I mean, they won once with all that talent in it. With Rodgers being ridiculously talented, they won one Super Bowl.
I know, yeah, but they got the two. Give you a chance for two.
Yeah, so. They got the two, but like for him, people to say, "Oh, he's the best," he's one of the GOATs and everything like that, but
he is for sure. I mean, he definitely is.
Yeah, he's got one Super Bowl. I mean, he's got the talent. I mean, I ain't saying he's talented.
It's like
don't get me wrong.
LeBron and MJ. Brady's the most accomplished. Rodgers is the most talented. LeBron's the most talented.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
he's just incredible. Like, I'm kind of actually don't want that to happen, because we play him twice a year. But McDaniels and him would be unreal. He's on record. Yeah. Brady has said. He made a comment about like Rodgers throwing for 6,000 yards a year if he ran the same system as them.
Yeah,
scary.
So, looking at our coaching staff and who I want for them, I like that. I like that system that they do run in Kansas City and not they're running in Chicago, because I mean, if they can keep Stafford upright, I mean, he's athletic enough to make those plays as long as he's protected.
Right, but it's almost like, why would the Kansas City offensive coordinator take the Detroit offensive coordinator job? He's killing it.
I mean, but
maybe their quarterback coach or something.
Maybe their quarterback coach, or one of those position jobs where that guy comes over to Detroit and becomes the offensive coordinator. That's dangerous as well. You look at the last two offensive coordinators we had, looking at Lombardi and Cooter. They were a position coach. They were that quarterback coach and came in and took the offensive coordinator job. I mean, it's sometimes it's a hit or miss. I mean, Cooter started off hot. But
Breeze is so, I mean, he's great and everybody talks about him, but it's so lost because we're almost always talking about Brady or Rodgers.
Yeah.
Much of Lombardi's like success is just Breeze being sick, is what I thought.
Yeah.
Personally.
I think so. Because even when he was not there, Breeze was still good.
Right.
I mean, but he went back, and I mean, Breeze is still good.
Right, because it's Drew Brees.
And how much is that is Peyton's offense down there?
Right, exactly.
Sean Payton, I mean, I don't know. I mean, sometimes it's hard to, especially when you have a veteran quarterback like that. How much does a quarterback's coach contribute to the starter's success? I mean, I know the backups and the developmental quarterbacks, maybe the practice squad, but how much does that quarterback's coach contribute to the success of a starting quarterback? I mean, especially a seasoned veteran.
Who knows?
Yeah. Who knows? I mean, looking at the defensive side of the ball, I mean, I know that to me, and I said this last week, I think that Patricia needs to become the de facto coordinator and / head coach. That's head coach. I mean, that's just me. That's what I think. I know that he does a lot of time on the sideline coaching the defense up. I know he says, "Oh, it's a blessing that the guy Pascal Willis called him as a play caller." But dude, we know that a lot of your footprint is on that defense, and the changes that they've made have a lot to do with Patricia being in that defensive room a lot. So I just think that Patricia needs to kind of cut his namesake. Can we cut his mentor go? Let him retire. I mean, dude's like what, 70-something years old or something like that.
Still got to have somebody there, like in title.
Yeah, he might have a title guy.
I like the defense's improvement over the year.
Yeah,
especially because like we were upset with the amount of pass rushers and stuff with the D line. Ziggy Ansah didn't play for half the year. Now he's done for the year. Just tough. If there's anybody that I'm going to be really critical of, it's going to be Bob Quinn. Because again, like, did you think this roster was better than it was?
Those changes were. I mean, it was wholesale changes from last season.
Yeah, you got rid of Caldwell. I mean, I wasn't a fan of him, but just like you were very defiant of you thought this team was way better than what the product was.
Yeah, and it wasn't.
Like it's
not. Nah. I wouldn't put that the personnel. I think some of the in-season moves, like even with the Tate move, we knew Tate was going to be there next year. The Snacks moves, the Snacks Harrison was a great move.
Yeah.
The Tate move is going to be a move for the future, you know. Because maybe we fall out of the top 10, but maybe we can with that pickup you got, that draft pick you picked up from Tate, you can leverage that to get back into the top 10.
We need the Eagles to keep losing too. That's a mood for me.
Yeah. So
and it could even is a topic for another day probably, but all these teams that look like they're desperate for like quarterbacks, like Jacksonville is definitely going to be in the market for a quarterback. Washington, has no idea what it's going to be doing because the Alex Smith injury is like major, big time. I don't know if you've been following that at all.
Yeah, I have been following that.
There might be some nerve issue. Like he might not be able to play again.
Yeah,
he's looking for a quarterback. Like maybe we move on from Stafford if we're going to change this offensive coordinator, the entire scheme, that side of the ball. I don't know.
I mean, but like we said, like I said before, I've said this before. I just don't think that with the contract that they gave him and what the cap hit's going to be if they release him or trade him. I mean, I don't know if they're going to. I don't think they're going to divorce Stafford right now. They might give him another season. He might have another season or two. I know he's gone for another 5 after this season. You know, because it was a 6 year. Yeah, but I mean, we'll see.
I think it's just so funny. I think we're, as a fan base, we're just like already accepting of the fact that he's just here forever.
I mean,
to make like over $350 million from us, you understand, for no playoff wins.
Yeah, I got you. I mean, I like Stafford. I mean, I like him as a person, and I mean, the kid's got moxie. He's tough. He has a lot of raw talent. I mean, his arm talent is ridiculous. Sometimes his decision making can be off. Definitely. Sometimes he trusts his arm too much. Try to throw it in the tight windows that aren't there. But I think the one thing that, to me, and that first couple seasons after Johnson retired, I think that kind of opened him up a little bit. But does he definitely regress this season? I don't know if it was a new
wins.
No playoff wins.
I'm done with this like potential and his ceiling and stuff. He's 30 years old. He's been in the league for a decade. He's fleeced us. I'm over it.
Yeah, I mean,
it's not totally his fault. I fully expect him to blow up and be sick elsewhere. I think I'm almost rooting for it because I think it's like one of those, like with Ebron, you could psychologically tell he needed
a change. Yeah,
I think the same thing it's the same for him.
I'm gonna tell you, I have Ebron on my fantasy league, man.
Sick.
He is definitely, he's got me in first place. Had me in first place on my league. So yeah.
Eric Ebron, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, he's doing his thing in Indy, and they just beat Houston.
Right.
And Houston won like eight games straight or something like that before that game. So, looking at next game, Buffalo. What do you see? Do you see a win?
I think we're going to lose it, even if I'm hoping for a loss. Buffalo's good. They got like a lot of energy. It's in Buffalo. Mid-December. Weather report's going to be like, but I'm sure it's going to be cool. And we'll see what the injury report says.
Yeah, that's going to be key to the game.
No Deshaun Hand. I think Slay will play because he's played last week, which is like I really don't want to watch bad football, but we got a couple more games of it to go. So
Kennard, I think Kennard's going to be out for the season. I think Johnson should be shut down for the season. You know, Carrion can sit on the shelf. I don't bring back Agnew. I just you're not going to see Wagner next week. Crosby's going to start, which is good because it gives him some playing time. You know, I think he's going to be the swing tackle going forward, like he is now, where he can play left or right. Depends on what's going on, the situation. I don't know what we're going to do with that right tackle if Wagner can't recover for the rest of the season. If he comes back next season, he had a 3-year deal? This is last year.
Wagner,
I think he has one more year in his contract, doesn't
he? Yeah.
Yeah, but depends on if they keep him or not. I mean, he's played decent this season. He isn't his greatest year, but he's been healthier more to this concussion. You know,
I have no real complaint about Lang, but people are like, you do that because he's a local guy and he's injured. It's like, I can complain about it not working out because the Packers was way below what we offered.
Yeah,
they knew about an aging offensive lineman with a ton of mileage on him.
Yeah, I mean, he's a great guy. I mean, he's engaging. He's
going to be paid $1 million to be.
But it was, I think it was an attraction thing for him coming. He's a local guy, and they wanted to bring him back home. And
getting like a radio show.
But he
sort of on that radio show.
Yeah, but he was injured coming in. He was injured coming into the Lions, so he was hurt coming from Green Bay. So I'm like,
exactly.
So I mean, I have no problems with them parting ways with TJ. I mean, wish him all good luck and everything like that. Going forward, looking at the schedule, we got Buffalo, then we got Minnesota again, and Green Bay.
Yep.
So we end with 2 division games. I think by that last game, maybe Rodgers may be shut down. I'm not sure.
Hopefully Stafford is too.
Yeah. But
sure.
So getting off topic, let's close it out on a good note. I am happy definitely to announce that hey, I caught the Jordans last week. They came out. The Concord 11s, those are the holy grail of Jordans. If you got some, good. Hopefully you didn't have to play any type of violent games out there to get them, but they've kind of changed that release. It was
sure it doesn't happen anymore, right?
Yeah, make sure it doesn't happen anymore. For the sneakerheads out there, if you got them, congratulations. I got my pair. They're kind of stuck in Charlotte with the weather right now. Order them on Nike.com. But those are the things that are kind of off the wall. Some that we could have that topic. One thing I liked last week in week 13, not this week, but prior week, was the My Cause, My Cleat campaign. And I always love when the players are able to express themselves and give back to the communities. Some of those things that they do for the communities that they live in or the communities back home, wherever they're from. Those things go unseen. People don't know about it, and they always complain that some of the, you only do this, or you only protest when this. But some of those guys actually do a lot of good work in their communities, but it's just some of them don't want the notoriety. They just do it because of the love of the cause, the community, either whether it be breast cancer awareness or autism awareness or American Heart Association. Those things go on and know. So a big shout out to the NFL and to the players on the Lions that actually did the My Cause, My Cleat campaign. They had some funny, you can catch them on their website on the DetroitLions.com, some funny, entertaining videos. Your boy Graham Glasgow, he just did his point with his unboxing of his Clayton video. You know, he's a character himself. You know, big U of M guy, but the NFL got it right. My cost, my cleats. Go on their website, check it out. It's some good stuff, man. If you don't know what it is, go on to NFL.com and put in My Cause, My Cleats. And it started in 2016. It's a good program and it lets the players express themselves in a uniform. You know, the No Fun League, you know, they're not pretty big on that stuff, Wills. You know, you have the strict uniform.
Somebody on the Seattle Seahawks had like these Grinch Jordan cleats that were hype. They're sick.
Yeah.
They were sick.
Those were the platinum. He painted them green, but those were the platinum tint 11s. As you can tell, I'm a Jordan guy, so I'm an old head. So I grew up wearing Jordan. So
I hear you.
Yeah. So I mean, but how's everything going with you, man? You headed for Detroit for home for Christmas?
Yeah, I'll be trying to catch a couple Pistons games, probably another team of heartbreak, but I'll be there.
They started out good, man, but they kind of slowing down. They kind of got beat down last night. But you had Griffin on the bench. He was resting last night. So
exactly what I thought they'd be. They can't be good teams.
Yeah. But closing out the show, I want to thank you all for listening to this podcast. My man Wills, thank you for coming on, man. You really helping me out. I kind of started this as a project for school, but I think I'm going to keep it going as long as I can. We're on iTunes now. We're on the Apple store, so you can check us out on that platform. Also, you can check us out on the Google Podcast and Spotify and a few others. So we're on the big markets, brother. So we're gonna keep it going for the rest of the season and into the spring. We'll probably be on a hiatus probably after the Super Bowl. We'll pick it up back up when the OTAs and around the draft time. We're definitely gonna have some big shows coming around that time frame. Try to get some more guests. I really, again, shout out to Toya Petrie of the DetroitLions.com. She really came through and did our small little podcast for us. So a big shout out to her and to the Lions organization for allowing her to do it. You know, they didn't have to let her do our podcast, but that was pretty cool.
Right.
Because she had to tell now we're out. The podcast has already been played, has already been produced. She had to actually tell them about our podcast and where they can listen. So,
oh dang!
And they had to kind of check it out before they let her do the show.
Oh dang! Well,
so
I liked it, I guess.
Yeah, I guess we got a decent amount of listens last week. Be posting this on Twitter and Facebook and actually on LinkedIn as well. So for the professional people who I'm Curtis Steele on LinkedIn, and you can check me out there. For everyone's not a Twitter or a Facebook guy, but if you're a LinkedIn professional, and you can check out This Aspiring Sportcaster as a LinkedIn page. The podcast link will be on there as well. So we end the show. As always, we will say, what up, though? One pride. It's your man, Kurt Steele.
What up? It's Wells. Peace. Lose the rest of the way. Well, Lions.
And we'll holler at you next time.
Peace.